Hello everyone, my name is Lynn Dunn. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to show you how to make these adorable little paper bows. So what we are going to do, I will just set this little paper bow up here, is the first thing we're going to do is just kind of go over the pieces that you will need to put together to make this bow. So the first thing I did was I just used a scrap piece of designer series paper, and I just punched out 2 of the large ovals. So it's the 1 3/4 inch by 7/8 inch oval punch. So I punched out 2 of them, and that's what I have here in front of me. And then I cut 2 small pieces of the same type of designer paper, and I cut them at 3 1/4 inches wide by approximately 2 inches long. So these are the pieces that will be the outside of our bow there. And then these 2 pieces, I'll just kind of tell you about them as we go along, but they're about a 1/2 inch wide and approximately 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches or so. These are just little scrap pieces that we're going to use. So what we're going to do is start out with our ovals. And I learned this great little technique from Ruth Stadler, one of the demonstrators in my group. So thank you very much, Ruth. And actually I taught this technique to my mother, who then made 57 of these cute little bows. Anyway, so what we're going to do is just tape. We're going to use little glue dots, and we're going to secure each of the ends of the oval, I don't know if you can see this, together. And you don't want to fold the oval. You don't want to crease it here. You just want to secure the tip of it with a little glue dot so that you have a little bit of dimension to your ovals. Okay, so once we have that done, then we can take one of our scrap pieces of paper, and what we're going to do, in order to make these outer edges of this bow, we're going to take these 2 larger pieces of paper here, and you're going to just slide it into your punch. And we're going to do it, instead of sliding it underneath, we're just going to do it from the top here. If I can get it in there. And I'm just going to round out the corner so that we have a rounded edge that matches our bow. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing to the other piece. So you have to just kind of gently get it in there. And then round out that side. And then we can set the punch down. So now that we have our 2 rounded edges here, we can adhere them to this scrap piece of paper, because this little piece of paper is actually going to hold the whole thing together. So what I'm going to do first is just adhere this, just kind of stick it on there. I'm going to put a little bit of tape on the back of my oval, and I'm going to adhere that. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with the other side, and you're just going to match it up to the other oval. A little bit of tape. Okay, so now you have the beginning stages of the bow. And then we're going to take this other piece that's about a 1/2 inch wide, and I'm just going to cut it in half. Doesn't have to be perfect. And this is what is going to make up the centerpiece of our bow. So I'm just going to put another little glue dot on there. And I'm going to start in the middle here. And just stick that on like that. And then I'm going to add another glue dot to to the back. I'm just going to pick it off and put it on there. And I'm probably going to trim this a little bit because all I'm going to do is just wrap this little piece around so you can kind of see how that looks. I'm going to trim this one a little bit too. And then I'm just going to put another little glue dot on there, right on the center. And then just fold this piece over onto the glue dot. So you have your bow, but now you want to make the ends fancy. So all I did was just pretty much just snip the ends, snip a little triangle out of there, and snip a little bit here. And there you have it. A cute little paper bow.